This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 168 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show, Battle of the Hosts. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible.
That's me. Equestrian Collections offers a whole universe of shopping at your fingertips. Shop online at equestriancollections.com. Plus Kentucky Performance products at kppusa.com.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. They'll bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
This is Glenn the Geek, and you'd think I know how to do this by now.
Never. And this is Helena B. And we have some special guests with us today. You are listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show on the Horse Radio Network.
Well, let's introduce our guests right off the line here because they're with us for the whole show, at least most of the show. We have Dr. Wendy Ying, who is the co-host of the driving radio show. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Glenn and Helena. How are you?
Good.
Doing great.
And she's sitting right across from me, Helena, because she comes over here to the studio to record because she doesn't live too far.
So she's within striking distance?
That's correct. Or her hitting me is usually the way it goes. And then we have the number one producer in the whole world, Coach Jen, on the line.
Woohoo!
Yep, I'm here. Woohoo!
And why everybody is here is because we're just going to have some fun today. We have some interesting questions we want to get answers to from our listeners. And then we want to we're going to do a trivia contest today called Battle of the Hosts, where Jennifer asks the three of us, all of us hosts, questions, and we see how stupid we are.
Are they going to be hard Pony Club questions?
I don't know. She can ask them hard questions, too.
I really stink at trivia, so no worries.
You should know
They won't let me in Pony Club. I'm totally unsafe and forget it.
She is unsafe. She wears her bare feet around the horses in the barn.
Well, all right. It only takes one. Have you ever been stepped on, Wendy?
I keep
No,
telling her
I've
it's
never
an
been stepped
Asian
on.
thing because
Okay.
she doesn't like to wear shoes.
Well,
And so
I
that
get
my chi can flow from the ground through me so I can be a better healer.
that is, see, snap.
Exactly.
S to the N.
I
to the
was
A
in fact
to the P.
snapping.
Right there. Right there.
I don't think the Pony Club still approves
No,
of your
they
chi
didn't
flowing
care
through your
about
feet.
No, wait, there's a product idea, Wendy. Shoes, barn shoes that have some kind of holes in the bottom. So it doesn't,
That's good.
right?
Oh, that's
right?
great when you're cleaning stalls. So the muck and the
know.
nork
So you can
come right
step
up
on the
through
nails.
the bottom of the
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You guys can just go. Wendy and I'll do the show together.
But Ariat does make flip-flops.
They do?
Yes, they do.
I didn't know
Really?
They make everything these days.
that. They do. Well, let's get on with the show here. We're going to, as I said, we're going to have it's going to be a fun, silly show today, and we're just looking forward to relaxing a little bit. But we do have a listener question. We're going to replace my tech pick of the week now because we have Coach Jen with us all the time, and she's so good at answering training questions and talking about training. And that's an aspect that, Helena, you and I have not spent much time on in the last 3 years on this show, and we want to start incorporating that in every episode. So we have a listener question, and we would love for you to send in questions to us, too. You can send them to Helena at horseradionetwork.com or Glenn at horseradionetwork.com. But the question is from Mike in Australia, and he asks, and Wendy, you can chime in on this one, too. He asks, how do you teach a horse to halt when he or she walks through the woe? So, Jennifer?
Oh, I'm up. Well, since he's saying the word whoa, I'm guessing this particular person uses his voice aid as part of his overall aids. So I'm guessing his horse has no idea what the word whoa really means. So I'm going to take the simple way out and get off your horse and teach him what the word whoa means first. Don't expect him to whoa using the word whoa, and if he doesn't know what it means before you even get on his back. So that's where I would start.
And how will you do that? Okay, I'm off the horse. Now what do I do?
Oh, I thought this was only an hour show.
Nope. Sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and get busy. We're listening.
Well, you have to use other aids that the horse does understand first. So if your horse understands that when you pull on the halter, he should stop, you have to pull on the halter and use the word whoa, and you keep reinforcing that till you no longer have to pull on the halter. If turning your body and stepping towards him makes him halt, then you have to incorporate the word whoa with that. If he doesn't know anything at all, it's a whole new show.
You have this problem, too, I assume, with driving horses, Wendy.
Yeah.
And how do you work, especially with
You
driving
put on a
horses,
great
'cause
big
you're
bit
not-
and yank really hard on the reins when you say whoa. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you could do that, but
well, no. You know what's
I don't
scary is that
recommend that.
that's a lot of people's answer to this question.
That is a lot of
Yeah,
people's
you
My
did have
horse-
to pick. You did have to pick a question that you could fill an encyclopedia with that answer.
Yeah. But you know what? I actually, if people do that with their horses, then they have to call me for acupuncture, chiropractic later because it's really hard on their body to halt like that.
when they do the big bit. and
Yeah,
just
because
teach
you
them that
can
way.
just imagine that's like telling something to like smash their head into a brick wall, but all the
Right.
force still comes forward. So it's hard on their mouth, it's hard on their back. So I do what Jennifer's saying is I teach them the whoa from the ground first when they're little. And even if I have one that doesn't know the whoa, I would get off. And I actually use a lot of food. And I don't use a clicker, but I use the word as like my bridge instead of the clicker, like the Shauna does.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I really like to train with food because, when you're eating, that's your parasympathetic nervous system, which is like sleeping and, your calmness, whereas your sympathetic nervous system is your adrenaline rush, your fight or flight, and those two cannot work at the same time. So I think it's easier to teach that. And then you're also teaching them that when you say ho, they're going to get a cookie. It kind of tricks their parasympathetic nervous system to work, like Pavlov's dog, the drooling. And then they're relaxed, so when they halt, they're ready to just stand around. Because especially with driving, I mean, we stand around in the carriage a lot.
Yeah, you have to. Whoa has to be a necessity in driving, and my Hackney pony wasn't so good at that.
Yeah.
The whole standing around thing.
All right, so here's a question from then. Let's narrow it down a little bit. Let's say you have a horse who understands whoa, or let's say you have a horse who's already been trained. You buy this horse, but one of your problems is, let's say you're preparing for a training level dressage test, and you have to halt square at some point in your test. But you have a horse who understands half halts, understands whoa, but walks through that halt. And, like I said, like Wendy said, a lot of people will just increase the pressure on their mouth, or my horse doesn't respect the bit. Let me go to something harsher. What do we do? What's an alternative to the harsher bit or the harder pull?
Who gets to go first?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I go first. Okay. We're going to go into the assumption that Trigger has issues trotting down the center line and halting at X during his dressage tests for the purposes of simplicity. One of the things that I would do is practice that halt other places in the arena. And if he runs through versus balking, when you practice your test or anytime you trot down the center line to practice a halt so you can see whether or not you're getting it square and straight, don't halt at X. Halt 3 strides before X and then halt again at X. Because a lot of people will go down the center line and they'll do the halt early during practice to get the horse to start thinking about changing his balance before he gets to X. Because usually it's just because the horse isn't rebalancing the way you think he is. You're just not feeling it because you're busy being nervous, staring the judge in the eye. Get the horse thinking about it ahead of time, but don't do it once. Halt 2, 3, 4, as many times as you feel like it takes to get the horse tuned in and thinking about your aids. Because then when you ride your test at the show, what that's going to translate to is he's going to feel your half halt aid. half halt aid is called a half halt aid because it's very closely related to a halt aid. It's just a half a one. He's going to tune into that and go, oh, is she saying halt or is she saying half halt? And you're going to retrain the horse's attention span a little bit. And it's also going to help retrain you because you're probably anticipating him running through the halt. And instead of giving the appropriate aid, you have gotten your aids unbalanced yourself. So not only is your horse unbalanced when it's time to halt at X, so are you. You've both retrained yourself with the incorrect pre-balancing process there. So you're both fouled up, and that will help but retrain both of you.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. The only other thing I would add is that sometimes, like in the carriage, since you, like with ridden dressage, you have your body and you can give them a lot of signals. But in the carriage, one of our movements is like extended. It's your last movement is extended trot down to G. So it's 90 meters of extended trot on a straight line.
Yahoo!
Yeah, so I used to like really water ski down there, and then I started taking dressage lessons, and they had me bend a little bit. So even though the body's straight, I would like break them at the pole a little bit. Mm-hmm. I would choose like a direction so that I didn't just hang on them with both reins, which that's something. I think sometimes when you're in the dressage test, you get nervous and you just sit there and you like go right, left, start, stop. Like that's all your brain can think. So if you can think of like what Jennifer's saying with the half halts, preparing is huge. But sometimes you just have to like bend them a little bit so that they're not like this battering ram going down straight down the line.
So some sort of physical flex, some sort of physical flexibility / cue that breaks them out of that rigidness of whatever movement they were in previously.
Like instead of letting them just lean on the bit with their straight spine, if you like, I always bend a little bit left. I don't know why. I just that's how I do it, and it's probably a physical thing of my body. But I bend them like between their head and their first cervical vertebrae. Hopefully, that's what I'm trying to do. A little bit, so the judge can't really see that I'm.
Do you have that
crooked.
marked in magic marker on their back?
I have
so you
a
make
big
sure you're
X,
doing it right.
That's pretty good.
Piece of sticker.
That's why she has that gray horse in the front.
But that's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining they're bending a little bit so they can't just haul off with me.
Okay, so we have, I think that's a really, I'd like to try that, although not in a carriage. I'm still afraid. I'll get there someday. But so we have essentially two answers to what's really a broad question is if your horse doesn't know whoa at all, you're going to reinforce the verbal whoa with physical whoa. And you're saying if they know nothing at all, it's start on the ground with maybe a little halter pressure and some kind of reward, clicker, food, some kind of positive reward. And then if you're mounted, start with yourself, really, right?
Yeah.
And repetition away from that stress point, which is that halt at X, is some kind of physical cue, a half halt, or something that works like a half halt. And then, now here's where I lost you a little bit. And we can really go on and on about this. But so after you give that physical cue, you're saying, let's try the halt away from where we have to perform it. So we're both more relaxed. And because we're both more relaxed, we're both more balanced. And therefore, the halt is going to come a little bit easier. Did I understand that right?
It's actually not just relax. It's actually a lot more than that. If you and your horse are both anticipating running through the halt at X, your body position, therefore your balance, as well as your horses, are not where you think they are. It's a case of unconscious competence. You know how to halt properly, and so does your horse.
Right.
You know how to halt properly, and so does your horse, without physically saying to yourself, seat bones here, hands there, legs there.
So you think it's a little bit of performance anxiety?
Make yourself more conscious of where your body is at, because you're telling the horse to halt somewhere that's unfamiliar.
Oh, okay then. So there's an exercise for everybody to go home and try.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Well, that's terrific. Well, Mike, we hope that helped, and thank you so much for listening from Australia. Now, the number 2 country in the number of listeners is Australia. Has taken over the spot from Canada on all of the shows. So we're happy to hear that too. Come on, Canadians, catch up.
Well, winter's coming.
Oh, that's
They'll be inside.
that's true. Canadians will pick up.
Yeah,
Then.
it'll pick up. Now it's summer in Australia. They'll probably flip-flop back and forth.
All right, let's take a break for our first sponsor here, Equestrian Collections, and then we're going to come back and play Battle of the Hosts, which I'm fully expecting to lose. Equestrian Collections brings a whole universe of equestrian shopping to your fingertips. Any given day, they have over $100 million of products for you to choose from. They know that riding and taking care of your horse takes up lots of your time, so Equestrian Collections is open for you 24/7. And their advanced technology allows you to find exactly what you need on the website and to check out in a little under 7 minutes. This week, I wanted to encourage you to check out their tent sale and closeout sections. They have 42 pages of closeout and discounted merchandise for you at unbelievable savings. From riding shirts to bits to stirrups to helmets, and the list goes on and on. And the prices I see here just cannot be beat. Visit equestriancollections.com today. All right, we're back. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. You're listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show. I am Glenn the Geek, as usual. And, of course, Helena B. is here. But we have two special host guests. We have Jennifer from the Horse Tip Daily Show, hosts on over there. And then also Dr. Wendy Ying from the Driving Radio Show. So Jennifer has challenged us to a trivia contest between the hosts to see who is the smarter host. So we're going to find out here. You notice we didn't invite Chris because she would just win.
I don't think trivia is a level of your smartness.
Oh, you don't?
No, I think it's a level of of the amount.
How much time you have to waste?
Yeah, useless information that you can cram.
Oh, that
into
makes me
your
feel better when I lose.
You-
I won't,
no, you
then
might
I won't
win.
feel dumb. Thank you, Wendy.
You don't feel dumb.
She's reinforcing me here. Helena would just beat me down, and Wendy's picking me back up.
I don't know. When it comes to matters of the mind, I don't want to really. I better keep my mouth shut.
All right, Jennifer, how are we playing?
How we're gonna do this? I think they call it round robin style. Everybody's gonna take a turn, and we're gonna keep score.
Okay, and if we get it wrong, does the next person in line get to guess it?
Sure.
Okay. And
Okay,
I'm
so-
keeping score. I have my score pad right here. I have Jamie, Glenn, and Wendy on my piece of
You're
paper.
keeping score?
Yeah, but
Why would you have Jamie? See, he loses already.
-1.
Oh, Glenn.
I flunked.
Somebody feed him, please.
I didn't eat lunch yet.
Yeah,
more
that's
candy.
sugar. Have some candy.
It was a tough morning show this morning, so it's like... All right, we're
Okay,
ready.
so
Who goes first?
I'm going to get you a feed bag for Christmas.
Well, I think Helena should go first. She's the oldest in terms of hosts. I mean, as far as time, not age.
Just, you know what? Quit while you're ahead, man.
are
You just,
really.
that's both feet in your mouth today.
Okay, so Helena's going to go first, and when Helena gets the answer right, she's going to hear this.
Okay.
And when Helena gets the answer wrong, she's going to hear this. Could you hear the buzzer?
No. What is that, like Operation type buzzer?
Yeah, let me try this one.
Can't hear
No.
it.
Hang on a second. Let me get the buzzer right first.
Just go burp.
I like buzzle. That's a nice word. Buzzle.
Buzzle?
What could that be a sniglet for? A buzzer you can't hear? It's like a puzzle. Buzzle.
Oh, I heard
Yes,
that.
there we go. That was painful and obnoxious.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay. Is anybody getting feedback? Because I don't have headphones on. I have a speaker going.
No, we're doing
No,
it.
we're good.
We're good? Okay. Because I'm sure you would have told me about it. So Helena is first.
Okay.
Helena's trivia question is, I have to pick out hard ones for everybody. Or should I just go, I should be fair and just go up the list.
Just go up the list.
Okay, Helena. What two gaits are standardbred horses raced at?
Oh, I know. The trot and the pace.
Too easy.
Not too
Yay.
easy.
You walk. He's gonna give
Easy.
me
That's
heart.
negative reinforcement. Wait a minute. You want to talk about confusing horses? You just confused me. I got a bell and a nah.
No, I didn't do the nah. I only did the too easy.
Like, you got it right, but
You got it
So
right.
Helena gets it right.
Helena's won. Helena's leading. Okay, Wendy should be next.
Wendy is next.
nervous.
Wendy gets. Oh, Wendy. Okay, this is on two separate pages, so I have to turn a page.
God.
Oh, there it is. I'll get page 2. Which airs above the ground movement does a horse keep at least 2 feet on the ground? This is going to be a multiple choice.
Oh,
Levade, Corbett, or Capriole?
Levade.
The driver knew that because horses that are driving aren't supposed to be doing airs above the ground.
Good point.
Because Alfie can do the Levade.
That's fun.
But what we didn't tell about Wendy is a little known secret is she also has done a lot of dressage.
No, I haven't. I
No?
haven't done a lot of dressage.
You did ridden dressage.
I'm a baby dressage rider.
Oh, baby
But
dressage.
she does a lot of Levades.
I do
Yes.
a lot
But
of
Levade is Levade considered dressage?
No, it's rearing. It's rearing.
Yeah, I mean,
I can
isn't
do
that like Spanish
fox
riding?
hunting in the dressage arena and in the carriage.
We actually were on the carriage in a parade when we saw her
Yeah.
horse do that.
Yeah.
Single pair, multiple.
Yeah, we had 3 horses and the one didn't want to cooperate and spent a lot of the time on 2 feet straight
Yeah,
up in the
right.
air.
Levade.
Yeah.
That's high school, Glenn. I have him highly trained.
It's high school.
All right, evened up.
We're evened up. Okay. Oh, boy. I'm going up the list. I got to be fair. And
can-
Glenn, what breed of horse was featured in a Disney movie set in pre-Revolutionary War Vermont? They have a building at the horse park. Hint.
Oh, sure, he gets a clue.
Oh. I don't know.
It's
that.
not helping. So they have a building at the horse park. What?
Disney movie, Vermont, Revolutionary War time period.
Well,
Can we give him a? Is this a popular driving breed?
I was going to say it's probably they had a lot of Morgans back then, and then the Morgan thing's over at the horse park.
Final answer?
I'm going with Morgan. Yay! Out of the
Good for
blue.
you. I'm kind of proud of you, Glenn.
Bonus worth 0 points. What was the name of the foundation sire of the Morgan breed? Anybody?
Oh, I should know this. We've done shows on it.
I can't remember.
Should
It's
know
not
this.
John Henry, but it's something like that.
Justin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's the first name of the person.
Oh, right. Oh, the
We
name of
did
the...
a show on this.
I know. No. I know. Can I
The name of
Google
the
it?
person who owned him was
Blackie.
Justin Morgan, and the horse's name was
Blackie.
Shapely, Curvaceous.
Couldn't tell you. Oh,
Hot to Trot?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Kardashian? No,
Yes, Kim Kardashian?
the horse's name was Figure.
Figure.
yeah. Still wouldn't know that.
I would've
You
never
got part of
gotten
it, though. I think I'm going to give Helena
get
half.
points for that.
She had
Yeah, I
she
thought it
had
was
the-
Justin Morgan
Oh.
was the name of the horse.
She had the name there, so
No, that's the guy who they're sort of their
we did do a show
godfather.
on that too, Helena.
It was a long
Glenn,
time ago.
it's what time is it? I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Did I even have breakfast? But I knew trot or pace.
The Morgan Association is going to be so proud of us remembering that.
All right, who are we on? We're on Helena next.
Yes.
Okay, Helena. Name the Greek historian and soldier who advocated sympathetic horsemanship.
Oh, Xenophon.
Thank you. Wow, Helena.
Yeah, no kidding. I had my Wheaties this
I was
morning.
going to say
Yeah.
that or she's had a martini. I'm not sure which. It's too
All
early
right,
for eggnog, so.
That would help a martini. Why don't we have martinis when we do the driving show? We
We
need
should.
champagne or something.
Is there like a morning martini? They have like, you know how you can have like
Is
a
that a
Bloody
Bloody Mary, a Morty Martini?
Oh yeah, we could have mimosas. That's a more.
Oh, right. There's mimosas. There's
You know, the
martini.
driving radio show, we really should drink because they drink a lot when they drive.
We do. It's
Yeah.
required.
It's required. Yeah,
They drink a lot when they drive.
yeah. The drinking is a big part of driving.
It's closely related to fox hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm all over it. Okay.
All right, Wendy's up, and
The
by
less you
way,
feel when you hit the ground, that's
Helena
the
is
whole
now
idea.
leading 2.5 to both of us have one.
Okay. We have Wendy next. Wendy,
Yeah.
name 3 definitions of the word cast as it relates to horses and horseback riding.
Oh, okay. Cast like on your leg when you break it.
That relates to
Cast.
riding.
What?
That relates to riding.
That's right.
Yeah. Cast like when you're stuck against the wall. like upside down.
Yep. We had a Percheron cast one time.
as
That
it
was fun. It
relates to
took 4 of
riding.
us to get him turned over.
And Cast the Hounds.
Oh, yes.
Ew. Wendy also just got back from fox hunting a couple
I
weeks
know,
ago.
good thing I did.
Did you stay on
Yeah, I remember I was riding Teddy, the Wonder Hunter.
the Wonder Hunter?
Oh, I like that.
Teddy the Wonder Hunter is a block frickin' wide.
Oh, he's great. You can't fall off. And if you start to lean on one side or the other, he goes underneath you and catches you.
Oh, well, that's good.
I know, he's the best horse in the whole world.
All right.
Who's next?
Wendy
Glenn's
has
next.
2. Yep.
Oh, Glenn might get this one.
You can do it, Glenn.
Riders usually mount from the horse's left side. Why? You know this.
Because the wife was on the right.
You're getting there.
Oh, I'm close.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I'd have meant from the left side.
Channel your inner
Because
knight.
on side saddles, you had to.
Nope. One more try.
This is some pony club thing.
No.
Because the king said so.
So, Jen, this is with your clues. Okay. You're giving spousal clues too.
Anybody else have a guess?
Because their swords go in their sheaths to
Oh,
the
that is right, because the sword's
didn't know
always
that.
on the
The-
right.
right.
No,
The sword's on the
was
right.
on the left. So,
No, the sword is on the left.
right.
And when you get on a horse, if you've got a sword hanging on your left side,
Then it
which
doesn't
side of the horse
flap
do you think
over
you
the
need to get
top.
on?
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't flap over the top. I should have known this
I
because
didn't
I
know that
wore a
either.
sword as a king for 10 years in my acting company. I should have known that. No wonder Jennifer thought I might get it. I should get a -1 for that one.
Aw.
I'm the only one
You
here
should get a
that's actually
-2
worn a
because
sword.
you lost it with clues too.
All right, we're done with round 1, and we have Helena at 2.5, Wendy at 2, and me trailing with my sword at 1.
All right, Glenn.
All right, we're back up to the top again. Helena,
Okay.
true or false? A horse's teeth occupy more space in its head than his brain.
Glad
You got a
didn't ask the
50-50 shot at it here,
veterinarian,
honey.
The dentist,
I'm
this one,
thinking
she's
that's
a
a loaded
dentist.
question. I think that's a.
Don't give her a hint.
I'm not.
She's winning.
Horse's teeth occupy more space in his head than his brain.
Well, they do have pea brain.
Think of pie.
Well, see, this is me. I'm going to overanalyze this before I give my answer. You see, in a linear fashion, if you're measuring linear inches, the teeth take up a lot of space in the jaw and the mouth and all of that. But the brain and its convolutions,
You just think too darn much.
Exactly. I told you I was going to overanalyze this. In fact, and I was just reading in Cherry Hill's book, How to Think Like a Horse, the horse's brain, or the horse's like, maybe it wasn't Cherry Hill, or maybe it was Cherry Hill. Okay, I'm overthinking. I'm going to say that is true.
Yay!
For the context of the question, yes, I think they were thinking of it. I know, Wendy, you were thinking of it from an anatomical point of view, and cubic inches, I'm sure brain is higher than teeth.
Yeah, I was
Yes?
thinking volume. If you think the volume, and also, you know what I don't like about that question? It doesn't tell you is the horse's head? Does it involve the mandible too? Are you counting both sets of teeth, or I'm overthinking
Right.
it?
See, overthinking it. But this is where you have to, this is where you back up and you say anybody who asks a
Yeah.
question like that has got to be thinking a lot shallower than we do.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
They think it's
Glenn,
funny
how
that their
would have
brains
answered
are
that
little.
question.
exactly. They think it's funny. So, you just have to go, well, what would the morons want to hear? Sorry.
As a horse husband,
That's
I would have
the- see, that's
definitely
the Yankee.
answered that teeth are bigger than their brains.
Yeah.
As a horse husband, that would have been my
Yeah.
answer. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Wendy's up.
Wendy's up. Let's see here. Wendy, who is the current chef de keep of the American show jumping team, which just, by the way,
You should
won
know
the
this. He's right over 4 miles from our house right now at the Altec National Horse Show.
No hints.
Okay, I'm just gonna guess. Is it the George Oh, yes.
What's his last name?
Morris.
There you go. Yeah.
He doesn't have to have a last name. He's like
George.
Cher.
George, he's like Cher.
Glenn.
He has obtained one name status.
Yeah.
And this is funny.
Where does he live? In Pennsylvania or Kentucky?
New Jersey, I think.
New Jersey, that's right.
We were just over at the horse park yesterday, Wendy and
I
I,
know.
checking out the Alltech National Horse Show and getting ready for that. So, all right, it's me next.
Glenn's up. Okay, Glenn. Which of the following would you not expect to see at the National Horse Show this year? A gig, a gag, or a gog?
A gig. Yay! Because I happen to know that's a carriage. That was actually an easy question for a carriage driver.
I think
A
that
gig is a
technically-
carriage thing?
But Glenn,
Yes.
remember the decorations at the ring of the horse park?
There were, was there a gig there?
No, there wasn't a gig.
They have the ring of the National Horse Show decorated with carriages, so you could have been wrong on that one, Jennifer.
Well, what I thought was interesting about this one is there used to be driving classes at the National Horse Show, but they don't have them anymore. They've really shrunk down the National Horse Show compared to what it was 100 years ago. So maybe someday in the future, when it goes like gangbusters here at the Alltech Arena, they will have driving classes.
I
Oh,
think
that'd be
that
so
the
much
National
fun.
Horse Show was more like the Canadians do that just starts this weekend, I think. Isn't there Winter Festival coming up?
The Royal Winter Fair.
The Royal Winter Fair, and that has everything.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago.
Well,
Where is
look,
the Royal Winter Fair held? Oh, Toronto.
yeah, boy, it's too bad you're not close enough because I'd love to go to that sometime. 3.5 for Helena, 3 for Wendy, and 2 for me. Still trailing with
all
my
right.
sword.
All right, you ready?
I'll show you my sword sometime.
All right.
Oh, Helena is next. Helena,
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
what successful rodeo competitor is also an owner or perhaps co-owner of a Kentucky Derby winner?
Oh, wow.
I have no idea.
Is he a competitor, you said? Rodeo competitor?
He's a successful Kentucky Derby winner and rodeo competitor. Hint, he was on Western Radio Show episode number 3.
Don't tell her that. She's looking it up right now.
No Googling.
I know her.
Then I'm not allowed to answer because I do not know the answer to this. Oh, wait a minute. He was on the Western Radio Show episode 3.
Type.
I can't answer this question without cheating. I have to tell the truth. So I pass.
Anybody else want to take a guess?
I don't know any rodeo.
I listened to all the
competitors.
Western radio shows, and I don't remember. Was it the guy from Texas?
He does not his farm is in Kentucky that has thoroughbreds, but he lives in Texas.
You know what's bad is I think I interviewed him too on a show. I can't remember his name.
Is it Guy Allen? No.
No, Bill Kasner.
Bill Kasner.
Windstar
that's right.
Farm.
By the way, he does not own a farm here anymore. He sold.
Well,
that
he doesn't.
Windstar Farm.
He's no longer a partner in
Oh, he
Windstar.
was Windstar
He
Farm.
was Windstar Farm. Yep.
He's one of the
And I
partners.
should have known that because I have interviewed him in the past. Oh well.
Bad, Glenn. So Glenn doesn't get that point.
No, that was Helena.
No, that was mine.
Helena
I don't
doesn't
get the point.
Okay, who's up next? Wendy.
You can catch up,
Oh,
Wendy.
now I'm
This is your
feeling
chance.
anxious.
You can take the lead.
Wendy, what famous racehorse has his skeleton and hide displayed in a museum in Australia?
Farlap.
That's because she listens to the morning show. And
I
we've
know,
been
but-
talking about it.
I do listen to the morning show. I heard that, but also I love that movie Farlap.
Oh, did you?
But it was like Black Beauty. I only watched it once, and I'm never going
And
to
you
watch
cry
it
dry
again.
balls out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that is the best name of any horse ever.
I know.
Farlap?
Me too.
Yes.
Did you ever
'Cause
see
it's,
the movie, Helena?
No, I haven't, but it's PHAR, right?
Yep,
Farlap?
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's the best name ever.
And he's stuffed and on display in Australia. Mm-hmm. And his heart's somewhere else, and his bones are somewhere else, and they're
Oh,
finally
really?
reuniting all of them. So
His-
he'll be a whole horse again. He
his
might even
heart-
run again.
They're going to reunite his heart's at some museum in Australia.
That's right.
Some national museum of Australia. Wow.
Yep. All right, so Wendy takes the lead with 4.
All right, Glenn.
But that's because his heart was huge. It
Was
was
that
like
what it was?
13.6 pounds
No,
compared
I
to
thought that was Secretariat.
It was like it's like
No,
twice
that was
the-
Man o' War that they did that with.
Well,
It was
Did
blood
Farlap
in
have
his
that too?
brain.
Farlap's heart was 6.2
Steve.
kilograms. Are you listening? This is an important fact,
Sorry.
trivia fact. Farlap's heart weighed 6.2 kilograms, and a normal horse's heart weighs 3.2. So that's almost double the size of a regular horse's heart.
So when you said he has a big heart, you really meant it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that's for a future trivia game. Now,
Okay.
moving on.
For next round. So we've got Wendy up next.
No, I'm up
No.
next.
Oh, Glenn's next. Glenn, what breed of horse is sometimes referred to as a rat tail?
Jack Russell.
That's not.
Well,
That's not a horse. I'm officially embarrassed.
Do you?
We had one at the farm for years.
Again, spousal clue.
Well, we've had a lot of different horses at the farms for years. I can honestly say I do not know this one, so you can throw it open.
Okay. Anybody else want to give it a try?
I am guessing Appaloosa.
Really?
Because they have that genetic problem where their tail doesn't grow.
I thought for sure Glenn would get that one.
No, I didn't know that one.
I didn't know
know that one,
Appy's
Holly?
had a
Did you hear me
genetic.
yelling Appaloosa?
We're
We're going to have to be separated.
Wendy cheats.
You guys are all cheating over there. Jennifer's giving like marriage clues. Wendy, I mean, who knows? Wendy could be miming it out for a
Is
while.
this the final round here, Jennifer?
1, 2.
Let's do one more round.
No, we have one more round.
Okay, one more round. So, Helena, you were up. It's now Wendy 5, Helena 3.5, and Glenn 2.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the last round. All right, Helena, you are up. Should I pick the one that's easier or the one that's genuinely? This is genuinely trivial, and nobody will know this. It's not fair.
Just whatever you think is the most fair. I don't like to cheat.
Hey, let's get our phone so we can text her and we can help her.
Okay, here's one.
We can
This is trivia, but it's something people should know. Where are the bars located on a horse?
Oh, behind, right on. Blah, blah.
You're so surprised you knew this one.
I'm so excited. I like when I get things right. They are the bars are a section of the gum in the jaw behind the first set of teeth on the bottom of the horse's mouth. Smooth, no teeth are in them.
Yay!
I would have accepted mouth.
Again, overanalyzing.
Helena gets hers. Yay!
Oh, I did get a little excited there.
All right, Wendy's up.
Wendy's up next. Oh, Wendy. What was the first horse to be registered at the AQHA named?
Doc Bar.
Doc Bar. That's probably pretty good because they all have those names in
I
them.
don't know.
You're close.
Zippy.
Yeah, Zippo Doc Bar. Olena.
Is anybody else
No,
want to
wait,
give
wait,
it?
wait. I mean Zippo's Doc Bar.
Double bar,
Yeah,
Doc.
with an apostrophe.
San Pepio.
Oh yeah. That's
San
right.
Pepe's, Doc Bar.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue.
it was Wimpy.
Wimpy?
Oh,
Just Wimpy?
that
name was
that's
Wimpy.
not close to Doc Bar at all.
No.
You see how far we've come from our roots? We really need to go back to Wimpy,
Wimpy.
with the days of Wimpy.
What cartoon was Wimpy
Why
on?
would you name a stallion Wimpy?
Wimpy was on Popeye.
Popeye the Sailor Man had Wimpy.
Yeah, he was the hamburger
guy that ate
guy.
hamburgers all the
And
time.
ate the hamburger. I'm getting hungry. Now it made me hungry again.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a bonus point. The ranch that owned and bred Wimpy also owned and bred the 1946 Triple Crown winner.
Oh,
Can
the
you
big one in
name
Texas.
ranch.
Triple Crown winner.
Doug,
I'll tell you, Wimpy is one nice looking horse.
Keep up, Alina.
Alley,
Keep
no,
up.
not Alley-Dar. That's too early. What?
Bar
19
X.
1946, the horse won. The horse's name was Assault.
Oh.
What Texas ranch bred that horse?
Oh, what was the big Texas ranch? The biggest ranch in the world. What the heck was the name of it?
They also have a Ford truck named after them.
King Ranch?
Yes.
That's it.
I only know because of the Ford truck.
After all those clues, you only get a quarter of a point.
I know, because I wanted.
That is it. We actually had a guest on the show who King Ranch was one of the largest ranches in the world. Huge ranch. Like they said, driving it would take you like 8 hours to drive around it.
Are you kidding?
No, and to go around the edge of it. And then one of the guests we had on the World Equestrian Games radio show actually lives on a little piece that was sold off of King Ranch. He's a driver. I think Mike McLennan actually
Oh,
lives near
really?
there.
Maybe
Yep,
it is
yep,
Mike McLennan.
Yep, that's right.
Well, this is kind of here's something that'll make you feel better, Wendy. Is it if you the on the King Ranch website, not only all right, so Wimpy's featured at the top in terms of their quarter horses, King Ranch quarter horses, but right under Wimpy is Mr. San Pepe, and right under Mr. San Pepe is Pepe San Badger.
You were pretty close.
No, Alina was on the Peppy. I was on the dog bar.
S to the N to the A to the P again.
They use the 7 drawers method of naming. Peppy, Wimpy, Doc. They're obsessed with the 7 dwarfs.
All right, it looks like Wendy takes the win with 6. Helena had 4.5, and I had 2.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's but I want to. Wendy only has 10 minutes, and thank you, Jennifer. By the way, that was fun. That was fun. Thank you, guys. That was a good time. We need to do this more often. You know, on a cold winter day when we actually are drinking hot toddies.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be sitting in the beach and call in.
Oh yeah, because she's going to be in Florida all winter, where it's nice and toasty
You can
warm.
come visit me.
We are going to come visit you.
You should.
Well, let's do our Tack and Habit segment. I want Wendy to chime in on this quickly, so we're going to take a break for our sponsor for Tack and Habit, and that is Kentucky Performance Products. Choose Kentucky Performance Products supplements because the horse that matters to you matters to KPP. This week, I want to speak with you about Elevate Maintenance Powder. This time of year, horses are consuming very little grass and may not be able to get enough natural vitamin E. Horses in riggers training, seniors, broodmares, and stallions often require additional levels of vitamin E to meet their needs. When you need to supplement with natural vitamin E, choose Elevate Maintenance Powder. Affordable, effective, and research proven. Elevate Maintenance Powder's vitamin E is nature's most powerful antioxidant, protecting your horse on the cellular level. Elevate Maintenance Powder supports the strong immune system and healthy muscle function necessary for top performance. It's affordable, it's easy to feed, and you can learn more about this and all their other products at kppusa.com. That's kppusa.com. We're back for our Tack and Habit segment this week, and I have a product that I picked out with my wife's help, and it's a product that invites a discussion. So it's called a bit blanket, and what it is a bit warmer. It's this thing that you wrap around your horse's bit, and I guess is this particular one you actually plug it in, and it charges and makes the little bit blanket that fits around your horse's bit warm. Now, they're not cheap. They're $45. Mm-hmm. So now a couple questions come to mind for all three of you is, one, I understand that you don't necessarily want to put a frozen cold bit in your horse's mouth, but other than it being uncomfortable, does it affect anything performance-wise? And do you try and warm your bits before you put them in your horse's mouth? Wendy, first.
I always do.
How do you do it?
I either put it in my hands and rub it, but this bit blanket sounds good. Or I live in Florida, so I don't have these issues.
She has a bit cooler.
I don't have to have these frozen pieces of metal. No, but I always do try to warm it up because I don't know if you've ever had an ice cream headache before, but that's like super painful. So I would think if I got an ice cream headache when someone put a bit in my mouth, I wouldn't want that bit to go in my mouth again. And you get an ice cream headache because when a cold ice cream or bit in this case hits your artery in your soft palate, it squeezes it down. It contracts from the cold, and that's what gives you the headache.
Now, I almost bought one of these at Equine Affair last year. And I thought about it because the price, to me, anything I have to plug in is a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
And because, it's not always easy to have, you either have to leave it plugged in all the time, which I don't think is safe, or you have to remember to plug it in. It has to become part of your tacking up routine, which, might work. But, you have to kind of say, well, how do I do things? And in all honesty, am I going to use this thing? Is it worth the $45? And for me, I decided it wasn't. Now, I'm one of the freaky people who's actually put an ice cold bit in her mouth. Because
to see what it was like.
And now it's not the most sanitary experiment in the world, I admit. But one of the things that I know about metal.
Understatement of the day, please note.
Well, I do clean my bits off. Your wife drilled that into my head. I always dunk my bits afterwards, and I try to keep at least those clean. But metal is a wonderful heat conductor. So really, if you think about temperature gradients, when you put something warm next to something cold, the warm flows into the cold. And, with metal being a good heat conductor, the minute you put that bit in your mouth, it warms up so fast. I don't know that there would be time for the bit to create an ice cream headache. If there is time for it, I would definitely say buy a dozen bit warmers. But I just use my armpit.
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
Or on my belly, like I lift my jacket up, or, I blow on it. I take a little of the pain. If my horse can wear, metal in his mouth, I can take a few seconds of cold. But it's only it's that initial contact, But that's the other thing is you have that negative association with the bit in your horse's mouth. That's not fun. So if you want to make bridling your horse a positive experience, then you want to put something warm in his mouth.
I always wondered why Jennifer kept the bits stored when she wasn't using them in the oven. Now I know.
Did you really do that, Jen?
No.
Oh.
That's really funny that you would ask that question.
Well, we don't have an oven, and I'd have to go get one.
I thought that was something like special thing I should be doing.
Oh, that's really funny. Here's my take. Bit warmer is a fantastic idea if that's what you're into. This is the way I look at it. My horse is kind of an outside 24/7 kind of guy, and he lives in a part of the country that has winter proper. He is perfectly happy and, as a matter of fact, eager to go out and eat grass that is frozen solid and covered with 3 inches of snow. So obviously cold in his mouth does not bother him one lick. No, I don't have a bit warmer. If it's really nasty, ugly, and cold, I might stick it in my coat pocket for a little while to warm it up or stuff it in my armpit. But that's as far as it goes.
So what do you have to say about that, Dr. Ying?
I don't want to stick that bit in my armpit. It's too cold. And you know what's worse? You know what is worse than a cold bit is the astringent feeling of your tongue, of deodorant on your tongue. That lasts. So I think you're doing your horse a disservice by the armpit. I think that under your
wait, you assume it's a naked armpit. You assume it's a naked armpit. We do wear clothes when we ride. I don't know what you guys do down there in Florida.
What flavor of deodorant would the horse prefer?
I know. I think they would hate it.
It's awesome.
What, you were thinking that?
I don't think we've sold any bit blankets for the bit blanket people.
Oh, I know. We're sorry. It's a great idea.
Cross them off the list of advertisers.
Hey, different strokes for different folks. If that's what you feel like your horse needs, go for it. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I would need one because I don't want mine to have ice cream headache or get a dry tongue from deodorant.
Can you contact our advertising salesperson, Jennifer, and tell her not to bother calling bitblanket.com?
Yes.
Because
Tell her to scratch that one off the list.
They have nice colors and pretty graphics, and
They do. It's a lovely website.
maybe if they could get it is a very nice, very well done website. Maybe if they could get a solar powered bit blanket.
oh, that's a good idea.
With those little I was listening to NPR the other day, and they had this MIT guy on there who is making these tiny, tiny, tiny solar cells. So that instead of having those big solar arrays, those big panels that you have to put everywhere to get solar energy, they're condensing
Yeah, I had a picture of this 5-foot solar panel and this little tiny big blanket plugged into
Oh
it.
yeah.
Right. Well, no. So now they're pretty close to making these tiny, like the size of a penny. So if they could make a solar powered bit blanket, maybe I'd consider it.
Well, guys, this has been so much fun, but we'll finish up the show without Dr. Ying. She has an appointment to go on to actually do some doctoring. So,
Bye, Wendy.
Bye, Wendy.
guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being
It
a
was really
part.
fun.
We really appreciate it, and I'll see you out at the horse show.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye, Wendy.
Bye.
We'll see you, Wendy. Have
Talk
fun.
about differing points of view. That was awesome.
I think you had all three spectrums there.
It was. That was what's great about it. Is like all three completely different points of view on what a bit warmer is, whether it's good or bad. That's great.
We're going to have to do this more often. This has been fun. Get a group of us together to just answer questions and talk about horse philosophy.
You know what? This is probably my favorite Stable Scoop episode ever.
You say that every week.
Shut up. No, well, this was the whole idea behind Stable Scoop.
Yes.
Was Jen and I used to sit down over coffee in the feed room on Wednesday mornings because that was when we had the chance. The horses were eating and we would have our coffee and we would talk about stuff like this.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And then we would talk, and then all of a sudden it was time to throw lunch hay.
It's true. It's true. But I mean, those were some of the best, most engaging, feel good conversations. And we had differing opinions on a lot of things. It was nice to hear different ones.
Well, and I this has been fun, and I if the audience likes this kind of thing where we get people together and we just discuss, we conversate about various topics. Is that a word?
It is now.
It is
No.
now.
Converse.
Where we converse about different topics, then let us know. Drop us a note on our Facebook page or send us an email. We'd like to hear your opinion on that because we could do this more often, and I think it's fun to listen to, and it also is educational too. So we got both of those elements. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. We have one guest that needs to come on before the show ends that I didn't even tell Helena about. So let me see if I can add her into this conversation real quick before we finish the show up today. By the way, that is at bitblanket.com if you want to check those out and you live in like the Arctic Circle. It might be something to take a look at. They come in different sizes and pretty colors. We'll see if we get an answer
I want the
here.
green one.
Is this Jackie?
I suppose it is.
Oh, good, because you're on the air, and we're here with Jennifer, and we got Helena, too. And this is Jackie Baker, the first guest ever on the Stable Scoop Show, or the Horse Radio Network, for that matter. So say hello to Jackie, guys.
Hey, Jackie, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Helena. Hi, Jen. And Glenn. And
It's been a
everybody.
long time.
Well, I'll tell you why
I
she's here is
know.
because we have to congratulate her about something. She has news.
Uh-oh.
I do.
Tell everybody your news.
True. My news is that my horse Ace has a little sister or brother on the way, but this one only has 2 legs.
Jackie's pregnant.
Oh my gosh, hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. When are you due? When is this baby coming?
Official date right now is April 28th.
Oh, my God. And how do you feel? Are you all pukey?
No, not at all. I am officially in my 2nd trimester as of Saturday. I haven't been sick once, and I'm starting to get my energy back.
Oh,
The fatigue
yeah.
is ridiculous the first few months, so I was really, really tired. But other than that, I've been perfectly fine.
You just made half the women that have been pregnant mad,
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I'm
that
not
fatigue can
complaining.
get you too, though. I remember wanting to sleep under my desk in the middle of the day.
yes, yeah.
Oh,
I've had
that's
a few
wonderful.
afternoons like that.
Now, do you know what it's going to be? Have you had that ultrasound yet? Or are you gonna...
No, it's too early to know. They'll do that one sometime in the middle of December.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. Does this mean you're not riding right now?
I'm not. I stopped riding 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Jessica Phoenix rode up to the
Yeah.
day before she had her baby. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, the riding's not a problem. It's the falling off that can be a very significant one.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's one of those things where you don't ask your doctor, because if you did, they'd tell you not to. So I just didn't ask. And I just kind of picked out my own time frame, because I was comfortable the first few weeks because it was still very, very small and very well protected. And so I just kind of took it easy and rode in the arena where it was soft and didn't ask Ace to do a whole lot because I figured he wouldn't, have any major thoroughbred moments that way. So I did keep riding for a while, but it definitely made my husband a little uncomfortable, and he let me do it. But then when I got to the time where I said I was going to quit, there was no way he'd let me get back on. So I'm okay with that. The last week I got on and rode bareback one day and just kind of walked around and had a nice little ride. And then I went home and cried because I knew I wasn't going to be riding much longer, and it was sad. And then the very next time I got on, I just didn't feel good about it anymore. I was fine physically, but mentally it's just like, I can't feel comfortable with this. So
Yeah.
I've been feeling much better about it. And the good thing is I found somebody to do a partial lease on Ace, who is absolutely wonderful. And so I've got somebody to help keep him ridden for me over the next few months.
That's great. So you can just concentrate on being a new mommy, and you don't have to worry about him. That's wonderful.
And you can muss and fuss over Ace without getting on him.
Exactly. He has gained more weight than I have so far.
That's good.
That's funny.
Yeah. He's enjoying his long grooming sessions and lots of cookies and not much else.
That's funny. Well, and what? How old's Gracie now, Helena?
She is 8.5.
So in 8.5 years, you're going to have your own little kiddo who's going to be out there riding, and you're going to be so proud. Like Helena is.
I know.
Oh boy, it's the best thing ever. And I'll tell you this: being a horse person is a great preparation for being a parent.
Yeah,
it really
I've
and truly is.
Hoping that.
It so is. It gives you the confidence to push. You know how you make good fences for your horses, and they need those fences. It's the same thing with kids. That combination of good fences and love and common sense.
And not freaking out every single time something little happens to them.
Right.
Kind of learned that the hard way with the horse already, so hopefully we won't end up in the emergency room over every scratch.
No, you'll learn to be like, oh, fever 104.5, no problem. Sweat it out, kid.
Jackie, you're going to make a terrific mommy. We know you pretty well.
Thanks, Glenn.
Yep, you're going to make a terrific mom. You both are going to make great parents. So I said that the first time I met you.
Excited.
So
we're very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And now of course, Jackie, we had her on the very first show, the very first Horse Radio Network 3 more years ago, because you have a blog called Regarding Horses. I assume that's taken a little bit of a backseat to the whole pregnancy thing, or does this open up a new avenue?
Oh, this is definitely opening up a new avenue. It's been very, very hard to write on the blog at all for the last few months because I wasn't making the big announcement public yet. And that's all I wanted to write about was how horrible it was to stop riding and why I stopped riding when I did and what I was going to do with my horse while I can't ride, all those kinds of things. So there's going to be a lot on the blog of being pregnant with horses and having an infant with horses. And so it's kind of giving me new motivation.
Do you know what that means, Jackie?
Pony.
You're going to be a mommy blogger.
Well,
okay.
Horses are kids, so kind of we fit into that category anyway.
You know what that means? It means a pony. There's going to be a pony.
That's what it means.
That's true.
And you have to get the pony as soon as the baby's born because, you just can't wait.
A mini. Go for the mini. Don't even go for the pony. Go for the mini.
I'm going to have a hard time with my husband on that one.
Yeah, but the little pony fit in your backyard. Just put a little fence up.
Oh, there you go. That's true. I can take over Ben's shed. The mower doesn't need to live in there.
Ben won't care.
You know what? After the baby comes along, he'll be happy. That'll be the easiest part of his life.
That's true. That's true. He is very excited. He loves babies, so hopefully he won't mind babysitting while I go ride.
Ben's a good guy.
If he's known for years he was going to have to do that, so he should be mentally prepared.
Well, Jackie, congratulations and good luck with this. We'll keep in touch, and of course, we'll make sure everybody hears about the big announcement when it happens. When did you say again? What month?
End of April.
That's right.
April.
My birthday,
Perfect
April
time.
24th.
He's going to be a Rolex baby.
A Rolex baby.
Glenn, it seems like everybody I meet these days has birthdays in April.
It's a good month.
Everybody.
He'll be a Taurus. What better?
Rolex baby. Only a horse person would call it a Rolex baby. I think that's.
Oh, I know. I thought of that already. I did. I'm like, yeah, I can't go this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
guess you won't be reserving our room, will you, for Rolex this year?
No, unfortunately not.
Every year that kid's birthday party is going to be at Rolex.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
there you go. That's an awesome idea.
Just
That
don't
was
name him or her head of the lake, okay?
Ah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Bye, Jackie.
Bye, guys.
Best wishes.
Thanks.
Well, there you
Oh,
go. Well,
that
this was
is
a
fabulous.
fun show.
Oh, that's fabulous. I'm so excited for her.
Well, that's it, everybody. Of course, you can find all of our show notes of today, which will consist of Wendy won. That'll be what the show note says. Wendy won.
Wendy won.
Wendy won. But thank you so much, Jennifer, for stopping by and helping us out with all the questions and everything today. We appreciate that. You're a good game show host, and we'll do this again sometime. And as always, we love your feedback. We'd love to hear if you enjoyed today's show. You can send that to Helena at horseradionetwork.com. Don't send it to me because I hardly ever get to my emails, so you have a better shot with Helena. I've been starting to do that on all the shows, and Wendy's going, you never give out your email address. And I said, yep, that's right.
That's right. That's fine. I'll take it. I love it. I love to hear from our listeners.
And many thanks to our sponsors, of course, Equestrian Collections and Kentucky Performance Products. We appreciate them being part of the show. That's it, Helena.
That's plenty. Phew, I'm pooped. We will have more next week.